Hi, this is the quick start guide to Lines2Memory from the stage, the app that helps you memorise your lines. I'm going to start by opening the app, and when it starts you can see that we're on the Help tab. Just to give you a brief overview of the pages, the first one you can see is the scripts page. As you can see, we already have a script here waiting for you. Next is the record page. This is where we'll go shortly to record our scripts. The play screen is next, and this is where we end up learning all of our lines. Finally, there's the stage. Here you can catch up on all the latest news from the stage, as well as being able to contact us, and most importantly, tell your friends all about the app and how you're doing. So, as you saw, we already have a script created, and you can access different pages from the shortcuts at the top. So now we're going to go straight to the recording screen and start by recording a few lines from Murder with Ghosts, a very funny play by Simon Brett, where I'll be playing the part of Greville, and there are a couple of other parts in this bit of the scene: Connie, my aunt, and Selena, my sister. I'll start by recording one of the other actors, which will be my cue. Now, you're not going to drink too much tonight, are you, Greville? Of course not, Auntie. Just enough to oil these social wheels, to enable me to be polite to your usual weekend collection of freaks and foreigners. There's no need to be offensive about my guests. Greville wasn't being offensive, Auntie. He was just making one of his jokes. Was he? He does make frightfully good jokes. In fact, Greville's good at everything he puts his hand to. Oh, don't talk such tosh, sis. Now, Selena, I want you to be particularly nice to Count Wildestein this evening. Oh, why? Because he's another of the dubious coves Aunt Connie's lining up to be your jockey in the matrimonial stakes. Eh, what? Is that what you're doing? And you can carry on like this, recording all your lines. Now that I've some lines recorded, I want to go and play them back. So I go to the play screen, select the first line, and press play. Now, you're not going to drink too much tonight, are you, Greville? Of course not, Auntie. Just enough to oil these social wheels, to enable me to be polite to your usual weekend collection of freaks and foreigners. And as you can see, it plays through the lines one at a time. Once you've played through them several times, you'll start to become familiar with your lines. When you think you've reached the point, the thing to do is to give yourself a chance to say your lines without it playing. To do this, you open the menu and you change the what to do with my line from play them to leave a gap. This will then leave a gap of the right length instead of your playing your line. Note the image here shows what you should expect to hear. So in this case, there'll be a gap instead of your line, and then their line. Now when you press play, you'll hear their line and then a gap into which to speak your line. Now, you're not going to drink too much tonight, are you, Greville? And now the gap. Of course not, Auntie. Just enough to oil the social wheels, to enable me to be polite to your usual weekend collection of freaks and foreigners. There's no need to be offensive about my guests. If you're not quite that confident, then you can set the play option, the what to do with my lines here, to both. And that will both leave a gap and play your line. You can now select the order of line and gap to choose the order in which you want them to appear. So line, then gap, which is useful if you're really not sure, so you can hear the line and then repeat it. Gap, then line is useful if you think you know it, but want to hear it afterwards just to confirm. And there are a couple of other options. So I'm going to select line, then gap. And now when I go through, we'll hear my line, and then I'll be able to repeat it in the gap afterwards. Now, you're not going to drink too much tonight, are you, Greville? course not, Auntie, just enough to oil the social wheels to enable me to be polite to your usual weekend collection of freaks and foreigners. There's no need to be offensive about mine. As you can see, you can go through and say your lines into the gaps, and as you become more confident, you can turn off your lines altogether. If at any point you forget your lines, just hit the prompt button and it will repeat them for you. That's the basis of how to get started with Lines2Memory. There's a lot more you can do with the app. As you saw in the play menu, there are lots of options, and then on the script page you can go into the script, go into the script and set up characters, scenes, etc. But they'll be covered in other videos. Thank you for watching.